Huzzah! If you're watching this video, it means you successfully mastered Essential Unit 1, and I want to say a big congratulations to all of you. I was so pleased with your work and your progress through the presentations. You brought that unit alive. You showed me that you could do a broad overview of U.S. history contained in one unit and make a strong claim for which period in U.S. history was the most definitional. And for that, big round of applause. I'm so pleased with everyone who has mastered that unit. Now, on to the next unit. We are moving into Essential Unit 2. As you will see on the course page, this unit will be open for 4 weeks as well, and designed in a lot of ways like Essential Unit 1, but a little twist at the end that I will talk to you about in terms of how you will be assessed for this unit. You have some options, and we will just kind of like give an overview of those options today, and you'll go into greater detail related to them as we move toward the end of that unit. So Essential Unit 2 is called American Character, and the compelling question for this unit is, what does it mean to be American? We'll begin the unit just like we did the last one with a forum where we'll just kind of stream of conscious what comes to mind when you hear that compelling question. Be diplomatic, of course. It's important to be critical, but there are nice ways of being critical. So if you have some things to say about Americans and our sense of being, then that are like not so positive, which is fine, because we can only grow from negative criticism. But just be sure to say it in the most diplomatic way. We don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. We want to make sure that everyone in the forum, their thoughts are respected. And again, there's diplomatic ways of saying critical things. So I just want to kind of like highlight that point, okay? After you answer the compelling question, then as I will show you, we're going to come up with some supporting questions too. So I say that now before I take you to the course page, because it's important that you do the compelling question and the supporting question forums before you move into the heart of the unit. Otherwise, you won't have anything to connect back to in terms of the major theme for this unit. And I want to make sure that everybody can connect back to that compelling question. So without me talking more just this way, let me go to the course page and show you around so that you have a strong sense of where we're going and what you need to do for this unit. So I'm going to scroll down. And at this point of time now, you can see that this tab for Essential Unit 1 is closed. You still can go back to it, but I want you to open this one, Essential Unit 2. It's entitled The American Character. It's open for 4 weeks. Here is the calendar for you. Here is a unit overview. We're going to begin with the colonial period and take a look at some early documents like the Mayflower Compact and the Arbella Sermon. And through our examination of these documents, you're going to see that self-governance and justice and mercy were at the heart of the country's foundation. You're going to take a look at the Revolutionary period. We'll investigate enlightened ideals that shaped the Declaration of Independence and later the U.S. Constitution. We'll also then go into how major reforms throughout the 19th century redefined what it meant to be American, or maybe you think that it didn't redefine what it meant to be American. And then through this whole method of inquiry, you'll have a conversation with me about the compelling question, look at different resources throughout the context of the unit, and then draw conclusions about the compelling question by the end of the unit. So again, I'll kind of fast forward to the end of the unit for you to have you see what the end is going to look like, because it is a little bit different from Essential Unit 1. Here are the TSWs for the unit, but you can also see them on the course page. They are these red statements from week to week, But if you want to go ahead and look at them, you can click here for the unit TSWs. Here's the textbook. It's a little complicated since we are following a thematic approach, and this is our first major theme that we are going to look at. Textbooks follow a chronological approach. So what you're going to see from time to time is we're jumping from the beginning to the end of the textbook. I will give you page numbers so that you understand what sections of the textbook are relevant from TSW to TSW, but I want to warn you ahead of time that that's a little bit of a complication, but you're going to find, like, I'm not a major textbook teacher anyway. All of these activities that you're going to do in this unit, which is our first theme for the year, I've kind of collected the resources together. So you can use the textbook, and I get why students want them. But I've also put together a whole bunch of supplemental readings. Some of them are like textbook chapters that applied from TSW to TSW. So the textbook is here. Here's some supplemental readings that'll be really relevant for the unit test at the end, okay? Here's that rubric, how to achieve mastery B level or above mastery A level. And then finally, moving down to the unit activities, here's the compelling question. What does it mean to be American? So I really want you to just kind of brainstorm what comes to mind when you think Americanness, whether it be like freedom of speech or risk taking or a nation of immigrants. All of these are good answers. Anything is a good answer. Just kind of be mindful of what I said about if you have a major critique. Critiques are fine, just say them very diplomatically. So if you open this forum here, I just want to gather your initial thoughts on the compelling question. And I've given you some videos so that you can listen to some thoughts on what it means to be American. You can watch the videos. Maybe they will act as platforms for you and the forum posts that you will create here. Okay, so make sure that you participate in that forum, your initial thoughts on the compelling question. And then after that, make sure you participate in the supporting questions. So essentially, this is when you think about that compelling question, what does it mean to be American? What are some other questions that you can ask that would help us get to the heart of that question? And this is where I'm looking for you to kind of be creative in your thinking in terms of American identity or American character. And this is where it would also be helpful for you to watch those videos in the first forum on the compelling question. But in this forum, you have to create a supporting question, then answer someone else's supporting question. So there's two parts for this forum, and I want to make sure that you participate in both of them, okay? Then we move into week 1 activities. And again, this unit is designed exactly like the first, except for this one is actually a theme. So you'll see week 1 activities if you scroll down, week 2 activities, week 3, and then finally until we get to week 4 at the end. Since I scrolled down to week 4 before I go back up to explain to you week 1 activities, you're going to see this time that there are 2 tiers for your assessment. There's a B level, and then there is an extra assignment for you to demonstrate above mastery. With the B level, it's a test, similar to the test that you took in Essential Unit 1. And then finally, with the A level, you have some options. And this I want you to really think about, like, what type of projects do you like to do when you are asked to participate in an assessment? Do you like to take a paper pencil test? Are you more artistic? Do you like writing essays? Some people don't mind writing 5-paragraph essays. Do you like taking surveys and asking classmates questions? Or did you like last unit and giving presentations? Well, for this unit, you have some A-level project options. You must do the B-level test, but then you only have to do one of these A-level project options. And all of them are centered around the compelling question, what does it mean to be American? Now, I'll talk more to these as we move through the unit, as we get to kind of the midpoint of the unit, but I want you to have it in the back of your head that this is where we are going to for week 4. And you can see in week 4, you'll have one day, you have an entire week on it. You'll have one day that you could take the test. The test is not going to take you more than an hour. And then you have the rest of the week that you can put together the A-level project. And 4 days should be more than sufficient. Okay. So I'm going to scroll back up here then to week 1. This is what you have to worry about this week outside of the compelling question. And in week 1, there's 2 major themes that we are going to take a look at, and that is outlining ideals from the Mayflower Compact and puritanical teachings which have shaped the American character. So the Pilgrims and the Puritans are those who settled in Massachusetts in the 17th century. If you're not familiar with your history, then these 3 activities are designed with that in mind. You'll learn about the Pilgrims and the compact that they made in their settlement of Plymouth, Massachusetts in 1620. You'll learn about the Puritans and the Great Migration initiated by a Puritan minister named John Winthrop. He's very famous in American history for his Arbella sermon. And essentially, one of the points that we pull from that sermon that is a demonstration of American exceptionalism is this whole idea that the American experiment was a city on the hill, meaning that they were going to design their colony and it was going to be an example for all others to emulate and follow. This has definitely impacted the American character over time, and you'll learn about it within the context of this activity. Moving on, Puritan Massachusetts was not all the greatest. I mean, it was a theocracy. The church ran that colony, and there were some dark times. So one of the darkest times were the Salem witch trials in 1692 and 1693. So you'll do an activity with learning about the Salem witch trials, and my big question is, did Americans learn from their mistakes, or did history repeat itself? I'll not say much more on that. I'll let you go into the activity and do it, and then you can draw conclusions from there. And then we'll round out the week taking a look at the Declaration of Independence, one of the most important documents in American history. It was written in 1776 by Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams. Everybody thinks just Thomas Jefferson, but there was a committee who wrote it. And what you need to do in the 2 activities here is we have to come to understand how enlightened principles influence the Declaration of Independence. So before you participate in this forum on the Declaration of Independence, I'm going to give you an introduction to some of those enlightened thinkers. And in fact, if you've taken a world history class, you should be familiar with John Locke, Montesquieu, Rousseau, Voltaire, Beccaria. Hopefully those names ring a bell. And if they don't, it's okay. I've created like a museum tour for you. I'll open this up. It's like a PowerPoint museum tour, but essentially, if you can visit different rooms in this museum, and in visiting different rooms, you'll learn about the different enlightened thinkers. If I take you to my office, there I am. They're kind of giving you the directions. There is a worksheet right here that you have to fill out as you go on this museum tour to learn about different enlightened thinkers and their contributions to American history. And then you'll wrap up the week participating in another forum on the Declaration of Independence. As I said, the goal here is for you to recognize how enlightened thought influenced that and how the Declaration of Independence has impacted the American character. So that's the first week of Essential Unit 2 in a nutshell. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the compelling question, and I look forward to your participation in the final forum of the week on the Declaration of Independence. Have a good week, and remember to contact me if you ever have any questions. You should be able to check the grade book for your grade for Essential Unit 1. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.